It is necessary to recognize that the tech industry is the fastest growing industry of all time, and therefore it is one of the most competitive fields to join in modern day. That being said, I still feel like it's necessary for me to share what are some different ways for you to earn your first ever software engineering internship, ultimately landing you your first job. Now, if you're new here, hello, my name's Courtney. I'm a high school software engineer that has perfected my methods of productivity. On this channel, I love to discuss tech, productivity, finance, and today I'm going to delve into specifically my software engineering tech side of my life, where I've been in the industry for years now, learning to code when I was 12 and continuing on with my journey to where I've now secured 2 internships, where I'm looking at securing a 3rd for this upcoming semester. If you want to learn about my journey to becoming a software engineer, I kind of talk about what I've done and what I've earned to consider myself as a software engineer. Check that video out at the top. But essentially today I'm going to talk about what are some things that I did to prepare myself for entering the industry as a professional, despite me being still in high school. Now, before we get started, please be sure to like and subscribe down below because this video is jam-packed full of information that you can use for applying for internships and later on full-time positions. And even though this video is titled for high schoolers, it can be used by anybody across the board, but this is just what I did to earn my first paid and unpaid internships as a high school student. Number one, it kind of goes without saying, specifically for software engineering, you need to learn how to code. For most of the tech industry, cybersecurity, data analytics, you need to learn some sort of coding language, and no, HTML, CSS do not count. They're not good enough for this. I'm talking real coding languages like JavaScript, Python. These are the things that will put you on the baseline, which is what everybody knows. Everybody and their mother knows how to code in these languages in this industry. So these are just things that you need to get under your belt. I have a video kind of talking about the best ways to learn how to code, so check that out up there. This video kind of goes in depth about different methods for you to learn how to code, not just looking at YouTube tutorials, but other methods and other platforms that are totally free that I use to learn how to code and solidify my skills. So I really wanted to share that with everybody else. But learning how to code, it puts you on base with everybody else. My first coding language was JavaScript. I also know Python, but that's not my main. JavaScript is my main, and I am currently a React developer where I'm solidifying my React Native skills. Obviously, this means I am a front-end developer, which is kind of what both of my internships have pushed me for. One of my internships, I did learn a bit of Node.js to work in the back end a bit, but ultimately, React is my main coding language and framework. Once you get a coding language under your belt, it's time for you to move from beginner coding to more intermediate coding. So start building your projects, building up your portfolio to show you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. Start learning the frameworks for your different coding languages. Like I said, for me, JavaScript, I learned React, but you can also learn Node.js, you can learn React Native, you can learn Angular, Vue. These are all different frameworks that you can use to enhance your JavaScript knowledge. This can also be seen in Python, using Django or Flask. But ultimately, by learning these frameworks, they really start setting you aside and specializing your skills for the language that you are learning. Once you kind of get a gist of the frameworks and start building up your own projects, it's time for you to start learning data structures and algorithms, which are essential for you to learn when it comes to joining this industry. Once you're done learning frameworks and data structures and algorithms, things of that sort, it's time for you to start learning things like object-oriented programming, which you kind of learned before, but like it's all kind of a massive mix. You'll know it by the end. Now, once you're more confident in all your information and your algorithms, you need to continue to reinforce those skills by using platforms like LeetCode to help you prepare for interviews. I really want to push you to communicate with a lot of others and refurbish your personal brand, because that is what people look at. You need to make sure your LinkedIn is clean. There's another application that I'm just learning about called Handshake that I really want to try out. So that's another platform that you can use specifically that's more for college students. And then obviously there's your portfolio. Make sure that these are all very neat and very clean looking, so people, when they're searching through and trying to find new interns and workers, you properly represent yourself. Now, I have earned 2 different internship opportunities, which I am very blessed to have to build my resume. For the interview processes, it was a lot of personal questions about how I personally would fit within the work environment, but it was also a lot of knowledge questions, so make sure that you hone in on the technical side of your skills. By having an even balance of both, you are really able to solidify yourself and really make a difference within this very highly competitive field. I really want to push communication, because I got one of my technical jobs by just communicating and speaking with people in person at a career fair, and that's kind of where I got my start. And then here I am now with 2 internships later, and like I said, I'm looking at a 3rd now. So I really just want to push to y'all to communicate with others, refurbish your personal brand, and make sure you understand your technical knowledge, because that is really what's going to set you apart from the rest. Remember, your age will be counted against you in some instances, so make sure you know what you're talking about to combat any and all worries that people have about you and your knowledge base. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time on Quartz Corner.